Yeah. Analytics, off the chain, all the channels, not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Welcome to the Week 10 Tailgate. That's right, it's time to kick back, relax, put your feet up a little bit, have yourself a cold drink, and enjoy some football here this weekend. Now, full disclosure, by the time this video comes out, I'm probably going to be on the road. This weekend, driving down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Now, a lot of you guys know who Taylor is behind the scenes here. He does all of our graphics. He does all of our editing. He's the man behind the scenes here. You've seen him on some of the draft live streams. His birthday is coming up, so we surprised him with some Alabama tickets to go watch a college football game. So that is going to be fun here this weekend. Hopefully you guys have something fun planned here this weekend. Let me know down below in the comment section. What are you doing this weekend? Here we are. It's November, starting to get a little bit cooler outside. Got any plans? Throw it down below in the comment section. Would love to see what everybody is doing here this week. But in this episode, we got some end of the week news, another mystery box from Pristine auction. I got to give away the Jalen Hurts football that I mentioned in the rankings video yesterday. Got an episode for the Tailgate Chef, something delicious here this week. We got a weather update, if there is a weather update. Otherwise, Tater's just going to be talking about beer again. Some DFS picks of the week and some point spreads of the week. Looking forward to doing that here in Week 10. But let's go ahead and kick it off here with some of the end of the week news. Now, the first thing we're talking about is going to be Deebo Samuel, somebody who's been on an injury report for a couple weeks, but as of now, he's not on an injury report, so that is definitely a good thing. We're liking what we're seeing from Deebo here this year, putting up some monster numbers at times. Now, having George Kittle back may kind of limit that ceiling from week to week, but still a super safe floor. He's super involved in this offense, and he's definitely somebody you want to start on a weekly basis. What about Cam Akers? So when you tear your Achilles, like literally your season's done, right? But now Cam Akers is out there on social media saying, man, we just got OBJ. Like, what if I come back this year too? And now everybody's thinking, like, can that happen? Can he do that? I mean, he would be a freak of nature if he could, because yes, he looks great working out on film, but that's a completely different ball game when you're playing in the NFL, taking hits, cutting, changing direction. I can't see that happening. Now, stranger things have happened. I mean, look what just happened last night. The Miami Dolphins basically backhand smacked the Baltimore Ravens for 4 quarters. It wasn't an ugly game, but Baltimore couldn't do anything, and Miami was horrendous coming into that ball game. So you just never know what to expect each and every week. Does Cam Akers come back this year? Personally, highly doubt it. Would love to see it. Don't expect it to happen. We talked about OBJ. Now he's a part of the Los Angeles Rams. Getting a lot of questions. What does this mean for the likes of Robert Woods, Bobby Trees, and Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, the running game, Darrell Henderson? Honestly, I think it affects Higbee the most, which isn't a big loss because he wasn't overly involved anyway. After that, though, Van Jefferson, dude's losing a lot of his volume, which I hate because I love me some Van Jefferson. And then Bobby Trees is probably next up. I think for Cooper Kupp owners, you're pretty safe. We even saw an interview here, I believe it was yesterday, come out from former Rams safety Josh Johnson, now in Cleveland. And he even brought up the move of Odell Beckham to the Rams, and he even said in that interview, that offense, and he just came from LA, that offense runs through Cooper Kupp, and we've known that for years, right? Even when Jared Goff was there, he is the main piece in that offense, and he's absolutely killing it. He's dominating here in 2021, and he's really benefiting from having Matthew Stafford. That's not going to all of a sudden change. If anything, this just adds another weapon to this offense to draw away defensive attention. I don't think it affects the running game very much. I don't think it affects Cooper Kupp. Now, Bobby Trees, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, yeah, they're probably going to lose a few touches here and there, but you can also say that maybe they improve their efficiency. Maybe Robert Woods isn't a guy who goes out and gets 10 targets a week, but maybe he can get 5 or 6, break off a big play, get a busted coverage because defensive attention's leaning the way of Odell Beckham. There's a lot that can happen, and luckily, this is a team that throws a lot, so they can kind of absorb and really utilize more than 1 or 2 guys in this offense. So I think that they're still going to be fantasy viable. Still love me some Cooper Kupp. What about Clyde Edwards-Helaire? He's a week away. It sounds like he could be back next week there for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a Chiefs offense that's just desperate to get going, right? And is Clyde Edwards-Helaire like the key to this offense? No, he's really not, but he's just another added weapon at their disposal to try to get things kickstarted here second half of the year. He's looking good in practice, super close. We should have him next week. Dalvin Cook. Now, how do I say this? I'm not going to get into too much detail here because I'm not here to determine who's right and who's wrong. I'm here to talk about football, fantasy football, player availability, strategy, tips, tricks. That's my job. My job is not to sit here and cast judgment on anyone for anything. There's drama surrounding Dalvin Cook, right? Whether he's a victim or he is, in some trouble here. Now, obviously, things have come out here over the past couple weeks, but he is yet to be investigated. That is a fact as of right now, and he's still active and playing this weekend. Therefore, from a football perspective, a fantasy football perspective, he's good to go. He's in your lineup. A lot of people saying, what about Alexander Mattison? Same thing, right? It doesn't matter. As long as Cook is active, I'm not worried about Mattison. If something happens to Cook, then yes, Mattison is the guy. Is Mattison floating around a whole lot of waiver wires right now? Probably not. So if you have him, you hold him. If you don't have him, somebody else probably has him. And this is just something we're going to kind of let play out. As of right now, I'm not too overly worried about it. And then lastly, we're on an Eno watch. And do you know what an Eno watch is? That's an Eno Benjamin watch. Now, he is definitely somebody that I'm really interested in seeing here in week 10. He may be available on your waiver wire. He may not be. He's somebody who's going to benefit from the injury of Chase Edmonds. Does he automatically absorb that role? No, he doesn't, but he's going to absorb touches in this offense. He is a Cliff Kingsbury draft pick. He is very explosive. He's a hard runner. He can find the end zone. And in this offense, with a lot of banged up wide receivers and Kyler Murray as well, he may not be able to scramble as much, which means they're going to have to rely more on their running backs, a la James Conner and Eno Benjamin. Now, obviously, Chase Edmonds could be back in 4 to 6 weeks, but look at this from a fantasy football perspective. 4 to 6 weeks, your season's about over, right? So you may be without Chase Edmonds rest of season. And the Arizona Cardinals are still winning ball games. They're still, on a great pace here to have a chance at a Super Bowl in 2021. So they're going to continue to keep their foot on the pedal while still being smart. That's why we saw them rest Kyler Murray last week. That's why they rested DeAndre Hopkins. They're trying to do it the right way. Eno Benjamin is a very capable running back, and he's somebody I'm interested in watching here this week, because if he can get right around 15 touches a week, we know they're still going to utilize James Conner, but the explosiveness of Eno Benjamin could kind of be like a old school Kamara Ingram dual backfield, a Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb-esque type backfield. No, not to that level, but where both of them can be viable weekly. Eno Benjamin is definitely a name to watch. But that's going to wrap up news here end of the week, which means two things. First thing, I got to give away a Jalen Hurts signed football. Where'd I put it? Oh, it's behind me. Let me move here. Here it is. I got it. Hold, please. Here it is. Try to get everything ready beforehand, but I always forget something. Here it is. The Jalen Hurts signed football. I mentioned this. Let me actually point the microphone on my face. I mentioned this during the rankings video. We opened this in a box last week. That's why it's important to watch all these shows. We saw this open last week, and then I said, hey, this is the item we're giving away for this week in yesterday's rankings video. So I've selected a winner, and there's a lot of people that wanted this football. There's a lot of Eagles fans out there. There's a lot of people that wanted to gift it to an Eagles fan. And this is all I can tell you guys. We're partnered with Pristine Auction all year long. And honestly, if I can keep this partnership going each and every year, I will gladly do it. Full disclosure, we don't make $1 from Pristine Auction. Literally, there's no sponsorship money. There's nothing that we benefit from it. The only thing we get is merchandise. And you know what? That's okay with me, because I would rather pay it forward and give it to people out there in the community like yourselves, instead of, trying to cash a check for myself. So to me, this is a great way for me to get things from Pristine Auction that I can then turn around and give it to you, the community. I understand that I can't give something to everyone. I would love to be able to, but keep trying, right? Keep hitting that like button, keep commenting on those videos. You never know when you're going to be selected. We take the video, we go to a randomizer that goes through YouTube comments, it spits out a comment, and that's the person who wins. It's the easiest way for us to do it and move forward without showing any preferential treatment to anybody. It's truly random. So The winner of this Jalen Hurts football right here is Pete Tamburello. And hopefully I didn't butcher your name, Pete. I'm going to email you, actually a comment on your comment here on YouTube, let you know where you need to get a hold of me at so I can ship this beautiful ball to you. His comment said, would absolutely love that ball with like 15 exclamation marks. Hook up a long time sub, please. So Pete, congratulations. You're getting the Jalen Hurts football. Make sure you send me that email, Pete. But now we have another box to open. That's the greatest part of all of this, right? Another box. Here it is. Unopened. Not an open box. No idea what is in this. I did cheat, and I slit the top of it so I don't fight with it so much. Last couple of weeks have been a little bit of a train wreck, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. Now, before I do, quick disclosure. I'm going to start opening in case it takes a while. In order for this process to continue, in order for us to keep getting things from Pristine Auction, I have to, in turn, send people to their website. That's just part of it, right? So they want new people to sign up for their website. Does that mean that you have to go there and buy something to be eligible to win? No, you don't. You just have to have your free account set up. You have to use that promo code Headliners and get signed up. There are so many things there on their site on a daily basis that at some point you're going to find something that you may like, right? And in order for you to get it, we're going to give you a coupon as well. As soon as you sign up for that free account, you use that referral code of Headliners. They're going to email you a $10 off coupon off your first purchase, and you can start your own man cave, your own woman cave, whatever it is you want. They have something for you, but make sure you head over to pristineauction.com. Their link is down below in the description, and at least set up that free account so we can get some credit for it, if I'm being totally honest here. All right, here we go. Now I will finish the process of opening this box. I have no idea what is in this box. This is the funnest part of it, is it's all a mystery, right? Even I don't know. This is awkward. Okay. We have, like usual, bubble wrap and bubble wrap. Now, I'll push this over here a little bit. Who's ready to figure out what's in the box? We have two items, it feels like. One feels like a jersey. One feels like something weird. No idea what the one thing is. All right, so we'll start off with the jersey first. A lot of people enjoy the signed jerseys, but what is this one right here? This is, well, look at that. It's a signed AJ Green Arizona Cardinals jersey. Signed by AJ Green. Hopefully he didn't sign it while he had COVID. But I've had the box for like a couple weeks, so we should be good. We're good there. But AJ Green, my hometown Arizona Cardinals. I keep they're teasing me here at Pristine Auction because they're sending me Cardinals stuff, knowing that I'm a Cardinals fan from Arizona, and then I got to turn around and give all the Cardinals stuff away. I had to give away a DeAndre Hopkins jersey a couple weeks ago. Now we got an AJ Green jersey here in the Arizona red. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you keep following along in the videos. You never know. That may be something I give away here in the next week or so. Next thing. Here we go. Now I know what it is. Now that the jersey's out of the way, I can kind of feel what it is. This is a signed cleat. A signed Nike. Who signs this? Oh, there it is right there. Noah Fant. A Noah Fant signed cleat. Not too many people have things like this in their collection, right? That's what I love about Pristine Auction is it's not just normal. It's not just signed jerseys. Signed jerseys are great. Everybody loves signed jerseys, but it's the different things. I mean, you see behind me, I mean, not with my head in the way. It's a behind the ball. It's a 1982 Sports Illustrated with John Elway on the cover in college, signed by John Elway. That's stuff you can get there at Pristine Auction. You've seen my signed CEH cleat in other videos, and I got a signed Barry Sanders pylon. A lot of different stuff. It's not just, basic signed jerseys. And that's why I love Pristine Auction, because you can find so many cool things for your collection that it's really worth just going up there, setting up the free account, and then just browse. Open it up daily. Look at it. Hey, what's going on out there? How much is these going for? What is it that I'm kind of looking at? Tons and tons of options, thousands of auctions a day, things starting as low as $1. Definitely a lot of fun, and it's super addicting. So a Noah Fant signed cleat. Any Broncos fans out there ready for a Noah Fant? This is something I'll give away. I'm not overly attached to Noah Fant or the Broncos. So this will be something that I can give away. I know that. So make sure you stay tuned, because that one's probably going to be coming up here pretty soon. But now is the time where we've gone through the end of the week news. We've opened up our Pristine auction mystery box, and I'm getting hungry, so it's time to throw it over to the Tailgate Chef and see what he's cooking here in week 10.
Hey everybody, this is John here with the Fantasy Headliners Tailgate Pick of the Week. Today we're going to be doing a jalapeno cream cheese, jalapeno popper grilled cheese sandwich. Y'all come on, check it out. Alright, so this is a pretty simple recipe here. We had an idea. Everybody likes a jalapeno popper, jalapeno stuffed with cream cheese and cheddar cheese, wrapped in bacon, throw it on the grill. Well, we decided to take this to the next level, so we're going to make a grilled cheese sandwich out of this. So what I got here, I got some thick cut bacon sliced up. We're going to throw it on the grill. As it gets closer to done, we're going to drop those jalapenos on there and saute them in that bacon grease. Add everything up and make our sandwich. Let's go drop this on the grill and come back and get on this cheese. Alright, while my bacon's cooking over there, I got about a cup of softened cream cheese right here. About a cup and a half of grated cheddar cheese right there. I'm going to blend this together, mix it all up. We'll get all this right. When the bacon and the jalapenos get right, we'll fold all that in together, put it on some Texas toast, grill it up. One thing I like to add to mine, I always put it on my poppers when I make them. A little Tony Sasher's Creole seasoning. Just give it a light sprinkle of that. Doesn't take a whole lot. Adds a little flavor to it. It's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It can't not be. So I got these jalapenos right here. I seeded them, cleaned them out real good. Helps take the heat out of them. You still get the flavor. If you want to add some heat to this, leave the seeds and everything inside. It's all up to you. Got these over here going on the Blackstone. You saute these jalapenos in that bacon grease. Adds a whole lot of flavor to them. All right, I got my jalapenos done here. We're going to add them to the cheese mixture. Let that bacon go a little bit longer. I want to get it a little crunchier. Then we'll add it. All right, so I'm going to get my bread ready here to toast up on this grilled cheese. And if you've never done this, instead of putting butter on it, try a little mayonnaise. Adds a little different flavor to it. Then I'm going to real lightly sprinkle just a little of this Tony Sasher's on the real easy. Alright, we got our bacon done. Added to our cream cheese and cheddar cheese and jalapenos. We'll mix all this up real good. Put some of this on our bread. Spread it around a little bit. Put it together and take it back to the grill. Brown it up. Hey, can you hook me up with some Manscaped swag?
Yeah.
You got a shaver kit?
Yeah. Want the perfect package?
Sure. Hell yeah.
All right, what do we got, Pickard?
Well,
This looks amazing.
we got some cream cheese. We got some cheddar cheese. We got some bacon. Some jalapenos. And if you don't like this, I don't like you.
I'm willing to try it right here. In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to toast our grilled cheeses together and see what we got. That's what I'm talking about right there. Jalapeno popper grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, you got to try it out. That's pretty good. I mean, I never thought about it, but you think about it, why not? Awesome, appreciate it, John. Now, as crazy as it sounds, I've never really thought of making a grilled cheese sandwich like that. But after trying it, it's pretty dang delicious. Like, if you enjoy that type of flavor, give it a shot, because there is some deliciousness in that recipe. Really appreciate that. But now it's time to throw it over to our boy Tater. What is Tater talking today? Honestly, I tried to give the guy things to talk about weekly, but he just makes up his own stuff anyway. So take it away, Tater. What do you got for us here in week 10?
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Weekend Tailgate. You're here with the one, the only Tater Miles, and I know Jake said there wasn't much weather to talk about, but I did a little checking myself, and I thought maybe I'd start this week with the weather report since there ain't so much to talk about, says he. And I have actually drawn on my piece of paper here exactly the weather report. So I just want you to see. Sorry, that's the wrong side. I drew, it's supposed to be nothing on the paper. There ain't to talk about. Honestly, after what happened last time we had a lot of rain, I'm pretty glad I don't have to talk about it anymore. So moving on to this week's beer review. This beer was suggested to me once again in my Twitter DMs, and I got this Shiner Bock. So this first time for me trying this out. It is from the Spitzel Brewery. I'm sure you're supposed to say that with some kind of accent on it. It says, every drop of Shiner beer is brewed in Shiner, Texas by local craftsmen who take pride in their little brewery. Ain't that cute? And our classic Shiner Bock. This American-style Bock has clean flavor. I like clean stuff. And a slightly sweet finish. We hope you enjoy drinking it as much as we enjoyed making it. Well, thank you. Says it combines old world Bavarian heritage with American handcraft brewing for a smooth, delightfully drinkable dark beer. So this is the Shiner Bock. Let's see what we got to say about it. One sip, everybody knows the rules. Now that is a nice, smooth, I will give them that. It is very clean and smooth. For all you out there that really like clean and smooth stuff, suggest you try that Manscaped. Or you can try this Shiner Bock, maybe both at the same time if you're feeling a little froggy. This Shiner Bock is very good. It's a very drinkable dark beer. And you know what? For a dark beer, it doesn't feel as heavy as some of the others that I've had. You know, you could drink this with a meal or on Sunday watching football, eating some wings, and you're not going to fill up just on beer there. That's going to be a good one to use. So if you like a nice Bock, so try this out from the good folks down in Shiner, Texas, all 2,000 of them. And let me know what you think. If you have a favorite beer, leave it down in the comments, and we'll be reviewing more every week, and hopefully we'll get to talk about some weather or something sometime. All right, Jake, I'll send it off back to you. Y'all have a good weekend.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Tater. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. But now it's time that we move over into the DFS section of this video, where we're going to talk about some of the best DFS picks of the week, and there's no one to do it better than our own Justin Freeman from runthesims.com.
What's up, headliners? Justin Freeman here from runthesims.com, here to be talking about your DraftKings Week 10 main slate. Week 10, we are on to double digits. Season's halfway in the books. We're rolling ahead, full steam ahead. Looks like we've got a pretty fun slate, 11-game slate here this Sunday. Before we hop into it, quick reminder, go to runthesims.com. All the tools we'll be using on today's show will be coming directly from runthesims.com, a premium subscription service for fantasy football, especially for you DFS heads out there. Every tool you can imagine. We've got a player prop tool, we've got a simulator, we've got an optimizer. There's so many cool things for you to go around and play with. Use code headliners at checkout for 20% off your order. We've got monthly, weekly, and rest of season packages available. Enough of the sales pitch. Let's hop on in. Week 10 DraftKings main slate. Let's look at the quarterback position. We'll go position by position here, starting with Josh Allen. Looks like the best play on the board at $7,900. Of course, he's going to attract some ownership, but obviously we're looking at a 12.6% optimal rate there for Josh Allen, taking on the Jets. I mean, play all your Bills against the Jets here in this pretty fantastic road matchup for the Bills. 12-point spread in this game, super favorable towards the Bills. Obviously, we saw that last week against the Jaguars, but look for Josh Allen to get right here this week in Week 10. Dak Prescott takes on the Falcons this week. A little bit of a teardrop there, but still, a clear top two here this week as we look at the optimal rate statistic here. 10% optimal for Dak Prescott. Looks like a smash play. Great opportunity to pair him with CeeDee Lamb Amari Cooper as well, or you can mix in a little Michael Gallup, who might be back this week as well. Tom Brady, number 3 here in our options, $7,600. The enticing thing about Brady is the fact that you can correlate your lineup around him so easily. You could easily pair him with 3 pass catchers if you want to. It takes up, I mean, there's 4 spots in your roster right there. Brady goes off, typically takes a lot of guys with him. And with Chris Godwin out this week, it really consolidates that target tree, makes Tyler Johnson super viable with your Brady stacks. Justin Herbert next, $7,300, takes on the Vikings this week. Herbert's playing out of his mind right now, playing really good football. This is a good matchup and a lot of good bring back options there on the Minnesota side. Obviously, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Tyler Conklin, plenty of good options for you to consider if you're trying to bring it back with a Viking. And then lastly, rounding out the top 5, Jalen Hurts against the Broncos, $6,500 for Hurts. It's not the best matchup in the world for Hurts, but the fact that he gets there in so many ways, using his arm and his legs, makes him a bit of a pretty safe option, to be quite honest. Let's look at the running back position. It's clearly D'Ernest Johnson's season here, according to the Sims. 32% optimal at $4,700. This is obviously based on the fact that we're not expecting Nick Chubb or really any of the other Browns running backs to be available. The team just went out and signed Brian Hill to the practice squad. Expect him to be elevated for game day, assuming COVID continues to be an issue there in the Browns running back room. Obviously, no Demetric Felton, Kareem Hunt still on IR, so no help in sight there for the Browns. It looks like it should all fall on D'Ernest Johnson, and at that suppressed salary, $4,700, makes him a smash. Najee Harris, $7,900, taking on the Lions this week. You can do whatever you want to against the Lions. You can throw, you can run. Obviously, Najee Harris is capable of doing both. Look for him to absolutely crush whichever way this game folds, but expect Pittsburgh to pretty much have this game in hand. Despite the high price tag, I think he's still worth trying to get up to. Jonathan Taylor, $8,100, $200 more than Najee Harris right there. Very similar optimal rate, 17.3% for Harris, 17.2% for Jonathan Taylor going against the Jags. They are really, really, really starting to feature Jonathan Taylor as the primary rusher in this offense. Last week, week 9, Marlon Mack was inactive for the first time in several weeks. Really just the Colts saying, hey, listen, Jonathan Taylor's our guy. We're going to sprinkle in some Nyheim Hines when it makes sense for us to get him off the field on third downs in some of those situations. But overall, Taylor just super involved in the game plan. Aaron Jones, a real boom or bust prospect here at $6,900. Scary floor, but going against the Seahawks, there is some opportunity there. Get right spot for Aaron Rodgers and the gang from Green Bay to get back in contention. And then obviously, Russell Wilson on the other side, going to be keeping the pace up for the Seattle Seahawks. The thing about Seahawks defense, they allow more plays than any other defense in the NFL. Brandon Bolden rounds out our top 5, but also got to mention James Conner right there below him. $4,400 for Bolden, $6,300 for Conner. Conner obviously inheriting a workload. How much of a workload we're expecting there could be a little bit up for discussion. Will Eno Benjamin sort of fill into like a Chase Edmonds light role in the Arizona backfield? To be determined, or could James Conner just take an 80% to 20% type of workload in that backfield? Brandon Bolden, the beneficiary of a couple concussions to his backfield teammates, Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. That would leave only Brandon Bolden and J.J. Taylor as active players if the injury report continues to trend towards that direction. Looking at the receivers, Devontae Adams, a clear number 1 option for us this week, $7,900. Mike Evans shortly behind him, and Mike Evans is going to be an even better option if the news gathering around Chris Godwin continues to go in the trend that it's looking like. Currently, so far, Godwin has not logged a practice yet this week. If Godwin misses, just go ahead and call that a smash spot for Mike Evans. You can fire up your Brady stacks as well. It just looks like a really easy option for you. And you have some options on the Washington side. It's pretty much Terry McLaurin, possibly J.D. McKissick that you can consider bringing it back with if you're running Brady stacks. Metcalf, $6,800. Good option there if you're trying to pair with Devontae Adams. I'm not sure if that'll be cost prohibitive, but there are some cheap salary savers out there with Brandon Bolden and Dearness Johnson. Deontay Johnson and Michael Pittman rounding out the top 5 here. Obviously the Steelers taking on the Lions. Same reasons we like Najee, same reasons we like Deontay Johnson. And Michael Pittman, a guy that even though T.Y. Hilton is expected to be back this week, still grades out super well going against the Jags defense. Looking at the tight end position, Pat Freiermuth, a guy who has been really coming on lately. Ever since Eric Ebron has been out of the lineup with a hamstring injury, Pat Freiermuth has been phenomenal. And at $3,900, he is a bargain. And if Eric Ebron happens to be active this week, and I'm not sure if he will yet at this point, it seems truly questionable, that is a small ding for Pat Freiermuth, but what more could you have asked the guy to do, the rookie tight end, in the amount of time that Eric Ebron has missed? I don't think the Steelers have much of a choice. They've got to continue to feature Pat Freiermuth as a key staple in the Steelers passing game. Kyle Pitts, number 2 on the list, $5,800. The ceiling is really starting to come into clear focus for Kyle Pitts. Without Calvin Ridley on this team, Pitts is the really undisputed number 1 pass catcher. He's going to project for north of 20% of the team's targets each and every week. It just looks like a fantastic play. And I know, paying up for tight end, could always be a little bit of a tough proposition. It's a little bit dicey, but Kyle Pitts putting up, receiver type numbers out there in terms of target market share. Dallas Goedert, another guy who is a little bit cheaper, saves you $1,100 on Kyle Pitts. Probably doesn't have quite the same explosive ceiling, but could definitely pay off in the red zone. However, see Jalen Hurts in that run game really starting to pick it up there. Jared Cook, $3,200 against the Vikings. Dalton Schultz, $5,000 against the Falcons. Looks like a good spot for both of those guys to get going. Dalton Schultz coming off a little bit of a stinker of a game makes for a good opportunity to pair with Dak Prescott in that passing game. Well, obviously mentioned we liked Dak earlier. We liked Herbert earlier. Jared Cook, a nice pair, like a Pinot Noir with a nice Chilean sea bass. I don't even know if I've ever had either of those, but that's it, guys. That's all the positions we're going to go through here this week. That does it for week 10. Hope you guys have a lot of luck this week. Go check out runthesims.com. Use code Headliners. Get yourself a little discount. Tell them the Headliners sent you over here. Enjoy it, guys. We'll talk to you again next week.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Justin. And now it's time to take a look at some point spread picks here for the week. And I don't envy Chris Chouse at all when it comes to trying to figure these out every single week, because have you noticed the last couple weeks? Heck, you look at last night, the Miami Dolphins over the Baltimore Ravens, the way that game went down. Last week, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Every single week, there's some big-time upsets and some teams that are really underperforming and some crappy teams that are overperforming. So I don't envy Chris Chouse at all when it comes to point spread picks, but let's see what he's got cooking here in week 10.
What is up, Headliner Nation? Welcome back to Point Spread Picks, week number 10, man. Last week, I'm telling you right now, last week sucked, and we all know, because if it wasn't for the Bills, the Cowboys, and those Rams, pooping the bed, we would have done just fine. And man, week 9, our record was not very good. 5-9, not so great, but I mean, we look for a huge bounce back this week. Lots of huge spreads to contend with. Let's dive right in and waste no time. Let's hope for this big bounce back week, baby. First game I have on the board is Atlanta at Dallas, -9 for the Cowboys. Dallas is coming off a stinker, like I said, but they're back at home and they're going to go show out. Zeke was hurting, but I fully expect him to play in this contest like everyone else does. Even though Atlanta can move the ball, they're looking good with Cordero Patterson and company, putting up points on the board, getting yards. They give up points in the late stages to kill their spreads all the time. I'm going with Dallas here, -9 on the bounce back, because I need it and they need it, and we're going to see it. I'm telling you, I'm talking it into existence, and I don't even care. Next is Jacksonville at Indianapolis, -10.5 for the Colts. The Colts looked great running the ball last week with supreme force. They get the extra week of rest from Thursday Night Football, beating those New York Jets. Jacksonville is coming off that unbelievable show versus my Buffalo Bills, where they just completely shut them down offensively. While Jacksonville will likely come back down to earth this week, they should be able to kill this spread late, much like the Jets tried to do to the Colts last week. I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here, go Jacksonville plus 10.5, only even because they're going to lose, but I think that they're going to kill this spread, and it's all about making money on these spreads, man. Cleveland minus 2.5 at New England. Cleveland without OBJ, man, they looked absolutely fantastic last week. The run game was the cream, still is the cream of the NFL behind Sir Nicholas Chubb, man, our boy Nick Chubb. The Pats, on the other hand, they're coming off a good show versus the Panthers' strong defense, but I mean, Mac Money Jones, he's going to have Myles Garrett hunting and coming after him after he tried to break Brian Burns' ankles, man. I mean, that's going to be a league thing, man. Mac, you better watch out, man. The defensive linemen are coming for your head, man, and it's going to continue. I mean, here we go. Cleveland, this one is a little bit tougher because I do like how New England is playing, but I'm going to stick with the Brownies here, man. Minus 2.5 on the road, even though I don't like the travel. Buffalo minus 12 at New York Jets. I mean, oh, good God, Buffalo, what an embarrassment you gave me last week. You know how much heat I had to take because of y'all? I mean, I just get it from the masses, man, but I mean, whatever, okay? The Jags, they overwhelmed the Buffalo Bills offensive line with that defensive front. I mean, the Jets don't really have that dominating force outside of Mosley and company. I mean, I do like that other defensive lineman. His name evades me right now, Williams, I believe. And I mean, they are very good, but I mean, I just don't think they're of the caliber that Josh Allen on the Jaguars is. Mike White, I mean, he will get the start. He's shown that he can put up points, but again, he left the contest last week with an injury, so I mean, he's a question mark again. The Bills, man, they have said that they have made adjustments all in this offense, so I have to believe them because the proof is in the pudding. They're going to be playing pissed off, and I truly believe that it's going to lead to points. I am going to take my Bills one more time on the big spread. Do not hurt me now because we need this win too. Detroit at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers favored at minus 8 at home. The Lions are coming off the bye week, and we'll have to take that travel to Pittsburgh. The Lions team overall is really porous. We know this. But, I mean, they got fight in them, and they're still looking for that first victory of the season. Pittsburgh showed that they can score, but not with explosive plays, man. They allow teams to climb back late, as we saw with the Bears game on Monday Night Football, and they have a negative record, ATS. I am going with Detroit losing this contest, but I hope that they're going to kill this spread late. Detroit plus 8, man. New Orleans at Tennessee, minus 3 for the Titans. The Titans look like an absolute powerhouse on the defensive line right now. The last 3 games have been literally lights out. Jeffrey Simmons and company are playing balls out, man. Now with Kamara on the injury status, he is hampered with some sort of injury, and I mean, it's hard to believe that Trevor Siemian is going to get this offense rolling with no offensive wide receivers really to help him out, and I mean, the way Tennessee's playing, especially at home, I'm sticking with the Titans. They're going to continue to roll with that defensive line. It's boomer bust. Tennessee minus 3, baby. Tampa Bay minus 9.5 at Washington. The Bucs are coming off the bye week and will be rested and fresh to take travel to Washington. Godwin, though, AB, and Gronk are still fighting injuries, but this offense has overcome, man. And with Tom Brady and company, how can you go away from what they are doing? Rested and fresh? Give me all that, man. Washington is also coming off the bye week, but they've been looking uneven, man. Every single week, you don't know who to trust. The defense still isn't the same. Tyler Henneke is a turnover machine. Washington is 1-7 ATS. I mean, I hate Tampa Bay because they do not cover spreads that are this large this season with consistency, but I'm going with Tampa Bay minus 9.5 on a little bit of a gamble in fear that it could be killed late. Next contest is Carolina taking travel to Arizona. The Cardinals favored by 10.5 points. While we're on the right note to think Carolina would play well early on in the season, everything has fallen off, and now PJ Walker will get the start. Sam Darnold is injured. The Carolina Panthers just signed Cam Newton back to the club. I mean, Jesus, man, this whole thing in this team is ridiculous. Zona proved that they could win without Kyler Murray and D-Hop. I still don't know how they did it. Obviously, the run game and Colt McCoy, they know what they're doing, and I mean, their status is still uncertain for this week, Kyler and D-Hop. We still don't know if they're going to play. They haven't been practicing, so that is something to definitely watch. I truly 100% hate this spread, but I mean, how can we go with PJ Walker to be the savior at this point, especially against the Cardinals defense that is very opportunistic? I'm going to gamble here, even if Kyler doesn't suit up, minus 10.5, but I do reserve the right to change this pick if things do change, so keep in mind on that one. I'm going to leave that one up to you guys. Minnesota at LAC. LA Chargers minus 3. I mean, with the battle, Minnesota Minnesota's been battling all season long. Now you got Dalvin Cook's off-field issues now turning its ugly head. We don't like it. The Vikings desperately need this victory, but they will. It's going to be tough, man. Going to LA, taking travel, it's going to be very hard. Herbert and the Chargers need to find that dominating force they had early on. They don't look as explosive. They're still moving the ball and putting up points, but they don't look like that dominating force that we saw early on. But I mean, a 3-point game. I mean, I love it. I think that this one is a very easy spread for me to take simply because it is 3 points. I'm going to Chargers at home to rebound and keep playing off that victory they had last week. I like them a lot this week. Philadelphia taking travel to Denver, minus 2.5 for the Broncos. There is no way that anybody would have predicted Denver beating the Cowboys like they did to those levels last week. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Sometimes that's how it works, though, in the NFL. These teams have a letdown. Some teams have a massive up hit, and the matchup just works. That was what we saw last week. Philly is looking like they are getting some things figured out on the offensive side behind Jordan Howard helping the run game, helps Jalen Hurts, so I like that all day long. This should be a true battle, and I'm going to gamble here that Denver's going to have a letdown. Philadelphia should ride a little bit higher. I really like the Eagles here, plus 2.5 in a win that they desperately require. Seattle at Green Bay, taking travel, minus 3.5 for the Packers. The Packers coming off that loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Seattle Seahawks do get their star behind center back, as per most reports. So with Russell Wilson back behind center, this team is completely different. I mean, they're going to use the run. They're going to throw the ball extremely well. And there's no word at this point on Aaron Rodgers' availability if he is going to play in this game. I still don't know. So this is a favor for us. I mean, they're favored by 3.5. But if you believe that this is going to be a hard fought battle to the end, if Rodgers is playing and suiting up in this contest, you would be correct, man. This has 3 points written all over it, in my opinion. So I'm taking Seattle plus 3.5 with Russell Wilson back in the mix. Kansas City minus 2.5 taking travel to the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday Night Football, man. Even though the Chiefs are in complete disarray right now, they still manage to win contests, okay? And this is kind of the thing. If you've been playing bad, you've been playing poor, but you're still trying to find ways to win. With all the problems that Vegas has off the field, it was clear it all caught up with them last week. Without a true deep threat, with Ruggs gone, they were basically owned. That's why they went out and signed Deshaun Jackson to help in that department. I mean, this is a massive contest, divisional contest for both these clubs, and they both require the win if they want their playoff hopes to continue. But I gotta go. CEH is on the uptick, I should say, to suit up in this contest, so keep your eye on that one. If they get Clyde Edwards back, I mean, this is going to definitely help Kansas City. I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going to say on the road, it's a tough one to pick, but I'm going Kansas City minus 2.5 in prime time. Monday Night Football, the LA Rams minus 4 at the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are coming off a loss where, I mean, they just got punched in the mouth by the Tennessee Titans. That defensive front, like I was saying, just absolutely destroyed them. This week, they will take travel to San Francisco with news that they have signed Odell Beckham Jr. with OBJ likely not going to play in this contest, obviously, because he just signed his contract today. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is really making life hard on himself, and I mean, it's very difficult to trust his offense overall, what they're doing. Injuries continue to hamper the San Francisco 49ers on this roster as a whole, and I mean, for me, LA Rams, they are going to bounce back in a very big way. This is Shanahan versus McVay, the good buddies, and I think McVay is going to give it to him one more time, and they're going to take the win. The Rams minus 4 easy for me. So there you have it. That is week 10 point spread picks, man. Go and get that money. I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck. Let's rebound big this week, and we'll see you next time. I am out.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. And that's going to wrap up the weekend tailgate show, right? We've covered everything this entire week from waiver wire, start sits, rankings, injury updates. Today, we had our end of the week news, the mystery box. Don't forget, are you interested in a Noah Fant signed cleat? A AJ Green signed jersey? We're giving this away probably too. And then we also announced the winner of the Jalen Hurts football. I spend so much time in the post office. I mail so much stuff every single week, but I love doing it. Love being able to give back to you guys who've done so much for us. But hopefully you guys are able to kick back and relax this weekend. I like the tailgate shows. I like this laid back, relaxed feel, like we're just having a conversation, like a couple of friends hanging out. If you enjoy it, let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe we can do like a live stream like this where it's not just fantasy football related, but every once in a while we all can just hang out, talk about whatever we want to talk about, and do a little AMA and just hang out and have fun. Love doing stuff like that. But hopefully you had a great week. Hopefully you're able to kick back, relax, and enjoy your weekend here, watching some football, eating some good food, drinking some cold drinks. But until then, we will be back in week 11 looking forward to it, but have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you later.